Jed is the greatest adventure in my life, and I know that our life together will be a beautiful, beautiful adventure, and I'm so, so excited.
I don't know that there's a specific moment in time where I just absolutely knew that she was the one. There were a lot of little moments that kind of led up to it where everything kind of clicked and fell into place, and one day I just realized that, wow, this is something special, and I, need to make this happen.
Jed and I kind of hung around the same crowd in college, but we never really formally met. Like, I'm sure we were at the same parties and tailgates. We both went to UNL, both big Husker fans.
Well, technically we had met once. It was at a football game, and we had done some digging into the photos that we had, and it turns out that we had gone to the same football game at one point in time, and you can actually see a little bit of my arm in one of the photos. So
the day that I finished my clinical rotations of internship, so I was gonna go to, there's a couple bars in downtown Springfield to meet up with some friends, and my friend Mary was there, who was friends with Jed in college. Jed just happened to be at this bar.
I think I just saw her and probably turned to her and said,
"You're cute." And I said thank you, and he said it again, "You're cute."
I may have said that a couple times, but it was true, and I kept saying it.
So I was like, this guy is not smooth at all, but his lack of smoothness is kind of smooth, because it was just so honest. He wasn't, throwing out these ridiculous pickup lines. He was just, that's just who Jed is. He never asked me for my number, though.
Yeah, I think that was just me being typical me and how smooth I usually am. I don't even know that it really even crossed my mind. So it wasn't until a while later where I actually got her number from Mary.
He makes me more adventurous, more spontaneous. Granted, it was only 20 or 30 feet, but I jumped off a cliff in Hawaii.
That was my third trip to Hawaii, but Andrea's first. So I was mainly concerned about trying to make sure that everything was perfect for that whole trip and for everything to go really well and for her to have a really good time. But we got to see a ton of stuff. One of, I think, Andrea's favorite things was seeing Pearl Harbor.
He just holds my hand and makes it okay, and then I'm always happy that I do those things.
So we did a couple of hikes, or we did a hike that included seeing a couple of waterfalls, which was really cool. Also took a helicopter ride, which was really awesome because we got to fly over the waterfalls that we had already hiked to. So that was a really neat perspective to have. And
we even stood under the waterfall for a while, which it's like you can't even open your eyes because you'll just get water all in them, but it was really, really cool.
So I think my favorite date would have been the Valentine's Day cabin at Mahoney State Park.
But we're like, oh, we're at Mahoney, we need to, go walk through the woods and whatever. Oh my gosh, it was so cold, but it was still fun because it's, like we're out exploring together and just doing things together.
It was really nice just having it be the two of us, but one of my favorite parts about that particular night was when we were loading some stuff in. I think it may have been our last load of stuff, and we were both walking over, and we were on the little patio or the balcony of this little cabin, and we both look up because there are just stars everywhere, and you can see all of them.
We've had so many great adventures, but how many are in our future? It's always just been really natural, like him with my family, and he and my brother get along so well. His mom, his sister, his dad, his step-parents, he just loves them all. And that was really important to me to see that. Christmas time, Jed was officially invited on the Young Myers Boys fishing trip, which is in June this year, and he's really excited. So that's kind of a big deal.
Kind of her brother spearheaded that, he kind of checked in with all the other guys to make sure that that would be okay, and everybody was like, yeah, he's cool, that's fine, you know, they're engaged, the promise has been made, so I think it counts. So that was really exciting too, because it was kind of announced in front of a whole group of people. And I remember how excited she was when I told her that we should go look at rings. She was absolutely floored.
We had looked at rings last August.
So yeah, we set a date. I took some time off of work. I took like a half day or something off of work.
I knew exactly, what I wanted, so we picked out this gorgeous ring together, and it was really sweet. We found the setting, and then they put the rock. I was floored. I was like, this is perfect, and I looked up at Jed and asked him what he thought, and he had a little tear in his eye, and it was about the cutest thing. I mean, my heart pretty much melted. And it was a really, really nice day, October 9th. We were just gonna go out to Soaring Wings because it was nice, and October we're pushing like the end of music season, and being nice enough to go out there.
Eventually decided that I wanted to do it at the winery because it was a really special place for us, and I thought it was simple enough, it wasn't too extravagant, and she would just really like it.
So we got our chairs set up and our wine table, and we were just hanging out. We played some cards. We love to play cards. So we were just playing cards, and Jed is constantly carrying around his GoPro. He loves his GoPro. Kind of
bait her into getting into the position I wanted, since I had to film. I really wanted to film this by myself, and
he's messing around, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, he's really trying to get an angle on this, and walks over to me with his hands in his pockets, and I'm standing there where he told me to stand, and he just stood next to me, and I looked up at him, and I was like, aren't you gonna put your arm around me for this picture?
And I was like, well, no, because I have to ask you a question. And that's when I got down on one knee and said, Andrea K. Staskevich, will you marry me? And
I immediately was just like, what? Like, this is happening now? Like, this is really happening? And he got down on one knee, and Jed, unlike me, is a person of very few words. And down on one knee, he just said, Andrea K. Staskevich, will you marry me? And it took me about 10 seconds of, like covering my face and screaming a little bit and doing like a pee dance before I finally said yes.
I kind of just felt a wave of emotion, just that it really wasn't a surprise to me. I knew that she was going to say yes, but it just felt right. Andrea, I love you more than anything else in the world, and I fall in love with you more and more every day.
Jed, you are my everything, and I love you more than I ever knew possible.